What's going on, guys? I'm Alex at Tech. How you doing? Today we're taking a look at the Fitbit Versa. This is a smartwatch from Fitbit, and I think it's actually the third smartwatch. They have the Blaze, the Ionic, and yeah, this is the third one. But this might be the one that you want to take a look at because this is the first smartwatch since they acquired two big smartwatch makers, Vector and Pebble. The first one that they had the full development team from both of those companies in Fitbit together to put together a design for this particular watch. And we do see a lot of familiarity between those brands and this watch. So that's why I was really excited to take a look at this. And I purchased this from Macy's for $150. The retail, I believe, is $200. So I got it for $50 off right on launch. Awesome stuff. My expectations were really high for this particular watch, and I was really hoping this could really be the Pebble successor, the Pebble 2 successor, because this basically is from Pebble in a way, and there's a lot to talk about here. The first thing we're going to talk about right now is the appearance of the watch. So the watch itself is made from a really nice slab of aluminum. It's really lightweight, and the structure, the form factor, it reminds me a lot of the Pebble Time. I originally had the Pebble Time Steel, so it was a little heavier. I do want to say that the watch here does not feel heavy at all. This is much lighter than the Pebble Time Steel, and it's a nice build. It feels really nice on the wrist. The only difference between this and the Pebble Time and the Pebble Time Steel is that this is wider. So the face is wider. There still is a pretty decent sized bezel, just like in the original Pebble Times. When you put it next to an Apple Watch, it's significantly wider. It doesn't feel exactly like a perfect square, perfect rounded square. It feels a little more like a elongated square. It's strange. You have to see it in person to kind of see the symmetry of it. It's not a perfect square. And at first that's kind of a little strange, but because the watch isn't too bulky and isn't too heavy, it actually fits really well on the wrist. So I really do like the design, the look, and the feel of the watch. Great stuff there. And seeing that this is a watch from Fitbit, and Fitbit being what they are in the fitness community, the fitness tracking aspect of the stuff is top-notch. It's actually one of the best ones out there. Probably the best fitness tracking stuff I've used to date. The interfaces are nice. All your fitness tracking stats are really easily compiled and organized for you to see. The way they remind you to get up and walk, the way they tell you to breathe. It's great. This is elite stuff here. Great stuff. And I've used a lot of fitness trackers, a lot of smartwatches, and I have a lot of design. I have a lot of interfaces that I like, but this one does it really well. And I'm going to compare this with the Amazfit Bip a lot in this review, because that's the one I wore a lot prior to this. And I said that the Amazfit Bip's interface was okay. It was pretty good. It was decent enough for what it was, for the price, and for the compromises that it needed. But this thing just completely blows that out of the water. This is much more organized, beautiful design in terms of how it delivers the fitness aspects. Then when you're talking about the smartwatch features, right, in terms of a smartwatch in general, it's a little lacking. Yes, there is an app store. So there is a Fitbit App Store. You can go on it, you can download some apps. There's a Starbucks app that I've used a couple of times. So the apps, the ones that I have tried out and tested, they do seem to work okay. Not a huge app store, much less than what the Pebble used to have, but I'm sure it'll keep growing. And it's nice that it's refined and easy to go onto this app store. So at least there's that. Okay, and then now we're talking about the notifications, right? The notifications are a really big deal, because the notifications are one of the big reasons why you would potentially want to get a smartwatch or a fitness tracker when you're running, when you're walking, or even when you're working. Like what I'm doing right now in the office, someone texts me, someone calls me, or get an email, and you kind of want to just take a glance at it so you don't have to pull over and get your phone out. And that's a huge deal, right? Delivery of the notifications are good. It's pretty solid. Not as good as something like the Apple Watch, not as good as something like the Tizen operating system on the Gear watches, but it's solid, it's clean, and that's all you can ask for, and it's in color. I do think that it's solid. However, notification pushing to your watch, that's really bad. So okay, let's try to get through this, because there's a lot to talk about in this particular category. So the notification syncing wise, this watch is perfect for iPhones. So if you have any iPhone in the past 10 years, it's gonna work. It'll basically work. If you use iOS, this watch will sync and it'll push all the notifications through to your watch. If you're using Android, especially if you're using a newer version of Android, one of the newer phones within the last year or so, chances are it's not going to work for you. So I ran into this problem. I just unboxed the watch. I originally was going to do an unboxing video, but I could not get this watch to work correctly, right? So I used it for a week, and every night, I would lose connection. So it would be connected for a little bit, for 1 or 2 hours. Someone texts me, I would get it through. I can read the text messages, and then after a couple hours, I would notice my phone is buzzing, but my watch is not. And I would check, and it's not synced anymore. It's very strange. And I was Googling it, looking up forums, and I believe the problem was a certain thing. Fitbit reached out to me and asked me if I was having problems. Of course, I was talking to their Fitbit support there, and they are very aware of a problem with Android. So an Android... Okay, yeah, let's try to sort this thing out. So if you're using Android, chances are 50% of the time it's not going to work. Your watch is not going to be working the way it's supposed to be. You're going to get notifications maybe for an hour or two, then you're going to lose the sync. You have to unpair it, forget the device, or wash the device, and then repair it. And it might work for a couple more hours, and then you have to do that over and over. So all in all, every single day I have to do that process about 3 times just to get this thing to pair back on so I can get notifications for a couple of hours. That is horrible. That is absolutely disgusting for a Bluetooth device to do that, right? And it is very inconvenient. However, the reason why I'm not ripping Fitbit is because they state that most Android phones don't work. Yes, they do put for iOS and Android, but they do have this... So Fitbit support did send me an official list of devices that are compatible. They do have like this checklist thing that you can go on the website and you can see what devices are fully supported or actually supported, officially supported, right? If you buy like an Apple Watch, it's not going to work on Android, right? And if you bought a first generation Samsung Gear watch, it was only going to work with Samsung phones. They tell you that, I understand that. But the knowledge of this, the understanding of this process is kind of confusing because look at the 2 companies they acquired, Vector and Pebble. They worked on a wide range of devices from iOS to Android. Almost every device works with a Pebble watch. So why... Okay, let's go through this really quick. I went on their official list, right? They sent me the list. They acknowledged the problem. They acknowledged that, hey, this is a long-standing issue. I looked up the forums. It was going back from the Blaze, right? The original smartwatch that Fitbit first launched a couple years ago. The Blaze had this issue. It wasn't working with Android, right? And they knew this problem. They even told me they know this problem is happening. They're working on a fix. How many years the fix has going on? I have no idea. But they're trying to fix it. They're aware of it. At least they acknowledge it. I know a lot of companies out there. I've been doing this for a while. We've been doing this tech review stuff for a couple of years now. And we've reached out to other companies before about potential bugs. Some of them have gotten back to me after a long time. Some of them don't reply. Fitbit responds right away. So I have to give them that. They acknowledge issues. And I at least give them credit for that. But what I'm trying to say is, look down the list. We'll look down the list right now. You got a brand new Galaxy S9? Let's get a Fitbit Versa. Oh, wait, sorry, it doesn't work with this phone. You have a HTC U11, HTC 12 that you want to get, U12 or whatever, U12 Plus, sorry. Doesn't work with this. Heck, you know what? Let's go with a Google Pixel 2, official Google phone. It's flagship Android phone, right? Google Pixel 2. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry. This watch does not work. And this is not like it's an old watch. This watch just came out this year, a couple months ago. It's a brand new watch. You would think it would support the latest flagship phones, but instead it does not. Surprisingly, it has a couple Xiaomi devices and a couple Chinese brands, but none of their flagship phones either. These are like really outdated devices. Very strange, very strange. But look at iOS, iPhone 10, iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, right on the list. It all works with the iPhone's iOS system. So that's why, you read a lot of reviews on the Fitbit Versa, and I've seen the articles. They pop up on my feed all the time. The Fitbit Versa is a perfect iPhone companion or the perfect Apple Watch competitor. Yeah, I agree with that. It is an Apple Watch competitor, and it definitely is great for the iPhone. But that's all it is. And there's a reason why people are saying it's only an iPhone competitor and not something like a Gear S3 competitor or like a Amazfit Bip. It's not a competitor. It's not a competitor to the Amazfit Bip because it doesn't work for all the devices. The Amazfit Fitbit works for all the devices. Look into my drawer. I have 2 rows of phones that we've reviewed, are recent phones. These are pretty brand new phones. We were reviewing it. You can look at all our reviews on our channel. This particular watch works with none of them. Or it's not fully compatible with any one of them. It doesn't sync with them. And you look at my phone right now. I've been getting notifications within the last hour, right? On my phone, it's buzzing, it's ringing. Nothing on my watch. Doesn't push through. I would have to manually do all those quick fixes. And to their point, their Fitbit support did say that these quick fixes will fix it for a short time. It's just a band-aid solution. It's not a long-term solution. I have to keep doing these quick fixes 2 or 3 times a day. It's not something that's doable. This is not what a daily driving watch should be. And that's very unfortunate because things like the battery life with my limited usage of it, right? Because it's not working fully. Half the time it's not syncing, so I would assume the battery will be lasting longer. I've been getting about like 3.5 days, so into the middle of the 4th day, I am getting that lifetime. So they market it as a 4-day battery life. I would say that's pretty much what I've been getting. But at the same time, my watch hasn't been syncing to my phone nonstop like it's supposed to. So I don't know. Maybe if the watch is supposed to be working the way it's supposed to, it will last longer. But it doesn't work on my Galaxy S9, doesn't work on my P20, doesn't work on my Nokia 6.1 that I was trying it on first. And that's basically stock Android. It doesn't work on the Pixel 2. We tried that on the Pixel 2 either. A lot of issues there. So connectivity-wise, I can't really gauge the battery. But from my usage of it and from what it does push through, I've been getting about 3.5, dying on the 4th day. So pretty good life. And the reason why I really wanted this watch was because I do a lot of shoots and I go on a lot of work trips and stuff like that where I'm not home for a weekend. I was really excited because I thought 4 days, that's about the magic number for me where I can leave the cradle, charge it before I go on a plane, charge it before I go on a set for a couple days, and I don't have to worry about bringing a charger in my backpack. Unfortunately, it doesn't do the notification pushing as I need it to, so it doesn't really help me there. But if it did work fully, and there is hope that it will. You know, Fitbit has acknowledged that this is a problem. If you're using Android, you probably shouldn't buy this right now. But if they do eventually fix it and they release a patch for it, I'm actually pretty happy with it. If this actually works as well as it does on the iPhones, and I tested this on the iPhone 7 and it works perfectly fine. If it eventually does work for Android and it syncs through like it's supposed to, pushes the notifications, pushes your calls through like it's supposed to, like it does work half the time, and it works the full amount of time that I need it to, I highly recommend the Versa, especially if you can get it for the $150 price point. Macy's, check that out. I saw it on Slick Deals. You sign up for an online account, an online email. They give you 20% off. That's why it dropped to $150. It worked. It was great. Whoever posted it on Slick Deals was great. My thing is, if the company that you purchased to improve your smartwatches supported all these devices prior, you should be supporting all these devices prior too. But my concern is that Fitbit is not really paying attention to the Android space as much as they should, and they're kind of excluding them a little bit. Once again, I'm Alex with Hypnotech. Let me know what you guys think of this particular watch. Let me know if you guys have the Fitbit Versa and if you've experienced these technical issues as well, syncing issues with your current phone. What kind of phone do you have if you have one paired with the Versa? Is it officially listed? Does it work as it is? Or is it like what Fitbit says? It just doesn't work with these particular watches because they don't have it supported. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit the bell button below so that you don't miss a single video in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!